how is it possible to go on vacation and have fun, clean and sober? I'll tell you what, I've been on vacation for 9 days. This is day 9. We're here for 10 days, leaving tomorrow. And I just thought I'd shoot this video. Going on vacation and being clean and sober is about 1,000,000 times better than drinking and doing drugs and using. And not to mention the fact that if you go on vacation, I mean, like for me, before I got clean and sober, every single vacation was just an excuse to go drink my face off and get blasted every single day, every single night. And I'll tell you what, once I got home from vacation, I basically needed time to recover from my vacation, which is like the opposite of what a vacation is supposed to be for. Vacation is a time for relaxing. A vacation is a time to have fun and laugh and joy and be with people. I mean, everybody has their own idea of what a vacation should be like, but I can tell you that before I got clean and sober, being on vacation was just a time for me to numb out and not feel. And being here, I'm at this resort. It's an amazing resort. It's an all-inclusive resort. So and I'm in Tulum, and I'll tell you, I'm just looking at, I have so much awareness being in clean and sober. I have so much awareness, and I just look at so many people that are walking around wasted, dull, numbed out. And my gosh, I can't even tell you. There was a couple that we had dinner with. We ended up having dinner with, and we ended up sitting at the same table anyways. There were 2 of them, and it was just blah. And that's how it was for me. I was blah. And the thought of having a good time while being clean and sober just was not something that even crossed my mind. It wouldn't even happen, not even possible. So, secrets to how to avoid a relapse. I guess that's the theme of this video, is how to avoid a relapse when on vacation. And I've kind of come up with a couple of things that I think are important to keep in mind if you're on vacation and you want to stay clean and sober, especially if you're in your first year. And I'll tell you, it's drinking and drugging is the path of least resistance. And especially if you're used to going on vacation and numbing out, then it's going to be a completely different experience if you stay clean and sober. And so I guess there's 3 things that I come up with. Number 1, who you spend your time with while on vacation. So if you're traveling with somebody, you got to make sure that you're traveling with somebody that supports your recovery. And I would even say more than supports your recovery. Well, I guess, what does it mean to support your recovery? Supporting your recovery means that they're not drinking their face off, means that they're not doing drugs, means that they're having a good time and enjoying sober activities, because there's so many things to do while on vacation besides drink and do drugs. And if I'm here with my girlfriend, she's I guess you could say she's a normie, but while we're here together, I don't even think she had one glass of wine or champagne or one drink or one margarita or anything, because she's with me. She's here with me, and I don't care. I wouldn't have cared if she drank, but she didn't, because she's so supportive of my lifestyle, and she enjoys the sober lifestyle too, because if you're drinking, you feel like shit the next day. That's kind of just how it works. So she completely supports my sober lifestyle. And so that's, I guess, secret number 1 is to make sure that you're spending time or you're going on vacation with people that support your recovery. And if you're traveling by yourself, then again, you're not hanging out at the bar. You're not hanging out with people that are drinking margaritas all day long. You're not spending all night long at the club partying all night long, which is, something that maybe you did before you got clean and sober. So it's spending time with people that are supportive of your recovery or doing things that are in line with your new lifestyle and with how you want to live your life today. So what do you want your life to look like? Who are the people that you want to be like? Who has what you want? So spending time with people that are conducive to your recovery is going to be just the number one thing, because it's your environment. Willpower doesn't work, as Ben Hardy says. Willpower doesn't work. So regardless of how strong you are, I mean, I can remember one of my sponsees recently, he went on vacation. He went up to Canada, and he went there. He was up there for 6 weeks, and it was kind of a vacation, but it was kind of work. And he wasn't necessarily spending time with people that were helping his recovery. He ended up relapsing. And it's like that happens. And he was solid. He was solid in his recovery. He was solid in his recovery, and he ended up relapsing. And I was like, whoa, how did that happen? I know what happened. He put himself in an environment that was not conducive to his recovery. Okay, number 2, activities. So you want to make sure that you're doing sober activities. Sober activities, like for here in Tulum, we went scuba diving. We ate at a bunch of amazing restaurants. There are amazing restaurants here. We did walks on the beach. We went to a place called the Jungle Gym, which was an amazing gym and very well known around the world for their weights that are made of like wood and natural type things, not just a standard gym. Super awesome, super cool. And they also had an ice bath, which I loved ice baths. So that's what we did. We went to the Jungle Gym several times. We did lots of yoga, which mind, body, spirit. And while on vacation, I want to be more connected. I want to be more connected to myself. I want to be more connected to other people, which if you're drinking and doing drugs, you're not connected to yourself. You are disconnecting. You're numbing out. And I want to be more connected, not less connected. So yoga, scuba diving, swimming, running, working out on the beach, at the Jungle Gym, doing ice baths. What else did we do? I mean, exercise and fitness is kind of my jam. So that's what I like to do. And that's my solution. So that's how, we actually, you know what else we did? We went and did a Mezcal ceremony, which is similar to a sweat lodge, but I believe a sweat lodge is a dry heat, and a Mezcal is a wet heat. So we were in this like cement hut, and it was led by a guy. I don't know if he's necessarily a shaman, but he really had some just amazing words. We did 4 doors. I've never done a sweat lodge or a Mezcal ceremony before, but it was really, really awesome, really spiritual. And I definitely got to a flow state, which, as Steven Kotler says in his book, The Art of the Impossible, flow follows focus. And being in that really, really hot, really, really dark, pitch black sweat lodge was just an amazing way to get to a very deep, deep flow state, along with his words. So, and then another thing that his name is Carlos. And what he said while I was in between one of the doors, I think it was in between the second and the third door, I said, I've got lots of thoughts that are coming through me, which is, when you're meditating, the thoughts are coming through you. The thoughts are coming to you. You're not supposed to think, you're supposed to let the thoughts come to you. And that's what was happening, is that the thoughts were coming through me. And his response was, okay, you don't need to think that you need to do anything with those thoughts. Just let those thoughts go like clouds. And my MO is to take action. So I'm like, oh my gosh, give me a notepad. I need to write some of these things down, because I really had some profound thoughts that I had never ever had in my life before. And when and if I'm going to take action on those thoughts, the time will come to me. The right time will come to me. The time hasn't come to me yet. So, okay, moving on, because this isn't about a Mezcal ceremony or a sweat lodge, but that was just an amazing experience. I mean, it was a unique experience, something that I've never ever done before. We drove through the jungle. We had a rental car, which, hey, if you're drinking and doing drugs, you don't necessarily want to drive. So being able to drive the entire time that I've been here, has been really awesome and not worried about getting a DUI. I don't know if they get DUIs here in Tulum, but I wasn't worried about a DUI. I wasn't worried about hurting other people. I remember everything. I remember absolutely everything on this trip. And it's been an amazing, amazing time. Okay, so the third thing, maintain your daily routines. So especially if you're in your first year, you've developed some new routines while being clean and sober. And a lot of times those new routines include, like for me, I do breath work, I pray, I meditate, I do a gratitude list. And with my gratitude list, I share it with other people back at home, which that brings me to another thing, going back to staying connected or being with sober people. Especially if you're traveling by yourself, you got to make sure that you stay connected to your recovery people, to your 12-step community, to your sponsor, to your sponsees. Just because you're out of town and in another country or not in another country or just somewhere else on vacation, it doesn't mean that you're not. I mean, we all have cell phones. It's easy to stay connected. So make sure that you stay connected to your people in recovery, because those are the people that support you. You want to stay close to them. You want to stay connected to them in every way that you possibly can. But going back to the daily routine, so for me, again, it's breath work, it's prayer, it's meditation, it's exercise, it's fitness, it's doing something positive in the world, it's being of service, it's getting outside of myself. Actually, one of the things that we did while here was we came up with a word of the day every single day. That's not something I normally do, but connected was one of the words of the day. Grounded was a word of the day. Fun was a word of the day. Laughter was a word of the day. What was another word of the day? Joy was another word of the day. So that was super, super awesome. And then finding an AA club. I mean, we found 2 AA clubs here. Super easy to find AA anywhere that you go in the world. And there's always a little bit of a different flair to it, but regardless, an alcoholic, a drug addict is an alcoholic and is a drug addict. And the AA communities are a great way, or the Alano clubs are a great way to find a meeting and connect with other alcoholics, especially if you're not with another person in recovery. I found that to be super helpful, and that was just a good time. So I'm here. I've got one more day. We're leaving tomorrow. I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling like I got what I needed out of vacation. So I get home at 8 p.m. on Thursday evening, and I'm going to go to the office on Friday. I don't really want to go to the office. I want to stay on vacation. However, I have a couple of things that I need to take care of. And I mean, I'm so grateful that I'm not going to be hungover. I'm not going to be exhausted. I'm going to be fired up and excited. I'm actually excited to go back to work because I've been here on vacation for almost 10 days. And so man, life is good. Life is good. Life is so amazing. I wouldn't have the life that I have today if I wasn't clean and sober. Oh, not to mention the not drinking and not doing drugs makes vacation a lot more cost effective. But what I found was that we've been out to eat at many amazing restaurants for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and breakfast seems like it's almost as expensive as dinner for me. The reason being, I always have cappuccinos or coffees for breakfast, and I don't have drinks for dinner. I mean, I typically have mineral water or sparkling mineral water, which is it. So it's like dinner ends up costing about the same, which if I was drinking, it would be a lot more money, way more money. So that's it. Those are the tips. That's how to avoid a relapse when you're on vacation, how to have a great time. And being on vacation clean and sober I'm telling you, it's a freaking million times better. It's a million times better. And one last thing I guess I want to share is my experience with people. When people are focused on staying sober, like, oh, I just got to stay sober. I just got to stay sober. Those are the people that relapse. The people that are able to enjoy life and have fun. I mean, it's about living a kick-ass sober life. It's about going and just enjoying it and not thinking about not drinking. The focus is on the sober activities. The focus is on the things that are going to promote your sober lifestyle, your new lifestyle. And that's how you get to living a kick-ass sober life, having a kick-ass sober vacation, whether it's in Mexico, Hawaii, somewhere else in the United States. Life is just so amazing being clean and sober. That's all I got for today.